Right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yomi Adu and I'm the CEO of Europe Travels and Tours. In the episode of our video today, there is an issue that we want to dissect. Okay, before we go into that, by the way, as you can see, I have a guest beside me today. So he's going to introduce himself, then we'll go into the action. So I want good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, bro.
Yes, I want our viewers to meet with you.
Okay. My name is Anthony Ambrose. I am in Nigeria, presently in Sierra Leone. I arrived in Sierra Leone this year, precisely in the month of April. So I'm new in this environment.
Okay. So you are welcome to Sierra Leone. So before we go into the topic of the day, how do you see Sierra Leone, at least with a month plus that you have spent in this country? What can you say about Sierra Leone?
Wow, that's a fine question. Sierra Leone is a very calm and beautiful country. There is peace in this country, relatively. There is peace and everything seems to be calm.
What can you say about the food that people eat in Sierra Leone?
Wow. Well, they have a lot of varieties, but majorly they eat rice.
They eat rice?
Yeah. We don't take rice often in Nigeria, but here is a regular meal, but with varieties of soup on top of it. Varieties of vegetables, varieties of stews, and so on. Fine food.
Then what can you say about electricity?
Wow, that's another area. Wow. Electricity is relatively stable in this country. Since I've been here, we've witnessed an average of 20 hours per day of electricity supply.
Yeah, which is okay.
It's okay.
Compared to Nigeria, where we all came from.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
That is just by the way topic or by the way issue. The topic for the day, let me introduce it to you. That is talking about millionaires. We want to talk about millionaires in Naira and millionaires in foreign currencies, let's say in dollars, in pounds. So the topic of the day is, how easy is it for an African in diaspora to become millionaire in Africa? As an African, you are based in the diaspora, maybe UK, US, Canada, Australia, wherever. Is it very easy for you to be a millionaire in Africa, or it is not easy? So that is what we want to dissect this very afternoon. By the way, it's a sunny afternoon here in Sierra Leone, so I believe you are going to enjoy the debate. Right, sir. There are a lot of millionaires, as we all know. Millionaires in Naira, millionaires in leones. By the way, so many people in Sierra Leone are millionaires because the money, we always count it in millions. Okay. 10 million, 5 million, 100 million. But for an African who is based in diaspora, based in US, UK, America, is it very easy for him or her to become a millionaire here in Africa?
There is no direct answer to your question.
Okay.
There is no direct answer. It all depends. Now, you need a lot of things to consider. Is it easy for an African in diaspora to become a millionaire in Africa? Is that the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it that easy?
Is it that easy? Yeah. Okay. As I said, it depends. Now, it depends on what type of business do you intend to do
in Africa.
In Africa, what type of business do you intend to do, and which part of Africa do you intend?
You want to set it up?
Want to set it up. Okay. Now, it depends on that. Now, it depends on the amount of capital you are bringing in. You know, if you are going into, let's say, supply of, let's say, vehicles. You want to be selling vehicles now. You need a large, in Africa, you need a large amount of cash for that, right? But unlike if you want to go into farming, you don't need that much. All you need is the land, You need the land. You need human manpower. You need that. You need cash. Then, well, the environment is okay. When I want to talk about the land, when we are talking about the land, we are talking about how good is the land for farming, or what type of farming do you intend to go into? Is it fishery? Is it animal husbandry? Do you intend to go into mining? And so on and so forth.
Okay, all right, sir. Now let me come in this way again.
Okay.
Most of our brothers and sisters in diaspora are salary earners.
Okay.
Some maybe $2,000 a week, a month, sorry.
Okay.
£3,000 a month.
Okay.
Now, living over there with $2,000 a month, I'm sure it is relatively small, because they have a lot of things to take care of every month. Pay this bill, maybe house rent, utility bills, and fueling their vehicles and the rest. Okay. £2,000 or $2,000, I'm sure, is not enough. But this money is big money when they come back here in Africa.
Okay.
So, what do you think these our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, what do you think they should do? Because it is not easy for them to become millionaires over there.
Okay.
And what we are saying is it is much more easier for them to be millionaires here.
Okay.
So what should they do? They are trying, they are struggling, they are hustling over there. That is why if you have somebody in the diaspora and the person sends you money, look, the money the person sends to you, it is huge. So you may be saying, oh, this is small, but I want you to know that the person must have gone out of his way or her way to get that money to you. So with the money, the small amount they are handing over there, what should they do in order for them to become millionaires here in Africa?
Wow. Yes, as I said earlier, there are lots of things, but specifically now, I will say, let me suggest one. You can go into farming.
They can go into farming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Farming is very lucrative in Africa.
And they don't need so much money to do that.
They don't need so much money. The weather is okay. The soil is very, very okay. So if you go into farming, trust you, it's a very lucrative business. Within years, you are in millions, so to say.
Okay, so farming. Okay, let's take that as number one. Okay, if somebody in the diaspora can save some money and go into farming here in Africa, at least within 2, 3, 4 years, the person can become a millionaire.
Sure.
But if somebody is working in the US, in the UK, 3, 4 years earning salary, is it possible for a salary earner to become millionaires over there?
No.
No, it's not possible. So it is better they use their money, turn it into business here for them to become millionaires. Okay, sir, apart from farming, what other areas can they go into? Areas of business.
Okay, maybe because of my own interest, I will still go to farming. But this time around, let's say
excuse me,
buying and selling of farm produce.
Produce.
Yeah, you go into the rural areas. You go into the rural areas to purchase farm produce such as palm kernel, such as cocoa, cola nuts, fruits, and so on. Bring them to the city and sell. It's a very good business.
A very good one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
So, if we are to conclude, because I know that those who are watching us, they have ideas. As we always say, no man is an island on his own. When you share your idea, and I bring my own too, by the time we bring all these ideas to the table, you and I will learn 1 or 2 things. We have people watching us from the Caribbean. Yes, as I always say, Caribbeans are Africans. You understand? So those who are watching us, maybe you feel, oh, what can I do to be a millionaire in Africa? I believe it is not too difficult.
Can I come in, please?
Sorry, sir?
Excuse me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it just crossed my mind now. Another area which I just remembered is if you can go into hospitality business.
Hospitality.
Yeah, it depends. in the area, it depends on the area. Let's assume you are located in the city, such as Freetown here.
Okay.
And you go into hospitality business, it's a very
Having
good
hotels.
Hotels, yeah. Hotels, that's it. So it's a very, very good business also.
Okay. So I
and
believe
you don't need to be on ground 24/7. You don't need to be on ground. You just have your manager to be overseeing.
Oh, okay. The person, the investor, may not necessarily be on ground.
No.
He may just have people who can manage it very well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think because that is another area. Because I know that our people out there too, they want to come and invest something here in Africa. But one of the problems confronting them is trust issue.
Yeah.
They find it very difficult to trust our people to manage businesses for them. And I won't blame them. I have friends in the time past, they told me that they bought some, plots of land here in Sierra Leone, in Freetown.
Yeah.
Before we knew what was happening, they swindled them of their money, and today is another story entirely. So people they have trust issue when it comes to running businesses. And if they have those trust issues, are they going to become millionaires? Because they have good intentions, sending their money down home to use it to do something. But now, even their family members, they are the one, cheating them, swindling them. I believe there is a way out. Because I always say that there are some businesses you can do. Even if you are not there, you can still have your money. Your money will still be given to you in full. Okay, so I don't want us to go into that today. But that's another topic for another day. All right, but for today, we can see that it is much more easier for Africans in diaspora to become millionaires in Africa. All they need to do with a small amount of money, which they think they are having over there, 2,000, 3,000 pounds, dollars every month, they can save some and start something small in Africa. With a very good business, somebody can go far here in Africa. But sir, let me quickly go to this before we call it a day. Those of us in Africa, we are staying in Africa. Is it easy for us to become millionaires? We are living here in Africa. Is it very easy for us to become millionaires?
It is not that easy.
It is not that easy.
It is not that easy.
Okay, why?
The reason is that there is shortage of capital here. The amount you earn, maybe as a salary earner, the amount you earn, by the time you pay bills, by the time you do one or two things, the amount that will be left won't be enough.
So small.
It will still be small. So it will not be enough to. For how long are you going to save such an amount before it gets to millions? But if you are coming from the diaspora, you are coming with dollars, with pounds. By the time you change
it to our own currency
here is a huge
okay,
amount.
I think maybe that's the reason why people decide to japa, why people decide to travel abroad, so that they can go there, make some money, and come back to Africa. I hope this video must have touched somebody out there. You are there in the diaspora, you have some money locked up somewhere. It may not be much. That money that you are thinking is not much, I tell you, is a big money here in Africa. It's a kind of big money here in Africa. There are different investments that you can go into. Now, you have heard it from our guest today. You can go into agriculture. You can go into hospitality business. There are so many other businesses which you can do. I want you to stay glued to this station, because on this channel, I'll be talking about travels, especially within African countries, within the continent of Africa, and also the kind of businesses you can, put your money, the kind of business you can invest in here in Africa. And before you know it, in 2 years, in 3 years, you can become a millionaire. One of my videos that I did maybe sometimes last year, I talked about businesses that you can do that will generate you money on a daily basis. There are some that you can do that will give you money monthly, some quarterly, yearly also, and so on and so forth. So the focus that Africans in diaspora should have is, I must develop Africa. Developing Africa, it means you are developing yourself, because in the course of developing Africa, you are also enriching yourself. If you go into business, you will be much more comfortable. Finally, before we call it a day, if you are a Nigerian, for instance, and you feel, oh, setting up a business in Nigeria is not okay for you, there are other African countries where you can, invest your money. We have 54 countries here in Africa. So if you don't like the western part of Africa, why not look at the eastern part, or the northern part of Africa, or the southern part of Africa? Do your research very well, and I tell you, you can do something here in Africa. So till I come your way again, I remain ever sincerely yours, your Miadu. Keep watching Hero of Travels and Tours YouTube channel.